Autoline Daily is brought to you by Bosch. The number of clean diesel models in North America will double by 2014. Bosch Clean Diesel. Good, clean, fun. Bridgestone. Your journey, our passion. Dow Automotive Systems. Improving durability and increasing design flexibility with Betamate structural adhesives at dowbetamate.com. And by the 2013 Hyundai Sonata. Learn more at HyundaiSonata.com.
Hello and welcome to a brand new week of Autoline Daily. It's October 29. I'm John McElroy, and here's what's happening in the global automotive industry. And right now, car sales are slowing down in most markets of the world. They're down in China, Japan, South America, and Europe. Well, let's make that most of Europe because sales are actually up in Great Britain. They're also running strong in Russia and Turkey and in the United States, Canada, and Mexico. In fact, Ward's Auto is reporting that fourth quarter production in North America will be up 8.3% to 3.7 million vehicles. However, Ward's is forecasting that North American production will only be up 1% for all of 2013. BMW, meanwhile, has really positioned itself well for any kind of sales slowdown. The company claims it can now withstand a 30% drop in sales without having to lay off any workers, close any plants, or even post a financial loss. Last month, BMW was able to get a new labor agreement that gives it far more flexibility to deal with any downturn. Kia just released photos of its new Cadenza, a car also known as the K7 and as the Amante, depending on which market it's sold in. While this represents a fairly mild facelift of the car with a new front and rear end, pay particular attention to the grille. Kia says this is a new interpretation of what it calls the tiger nose. Obviously, Kia's chief designer, Peter Schreier, continues to evolve the grille that has become the brand's signature look. And speaking of new design trends, Ford says some of its customers are really getting into black wheels. They think this adds more individuality to the look of their car. Plus, they just like the look. Amazingly, the take rate for black wheels on the Ford Flex is up to 25%. And in trend-setting Los Angeles, the take rate is 50%. The Focus has the second highest take rate, but we don't have a number on that. Ford charges $500 for black wheels on those vehicles and $700 on the Taurus, but they do come standard on the 2013 Explorer Sport. And now we have to go over the results of our latest poll. We asked you what kind of hybrid or battery-powered car you might be interested in buying. 40% of you said you're not interested in any of them at all. But 23% of you said that you would buy a hybrid. 20% opted for a range extender like the Chevy Volt. 14% of you indicated an interest in a plug-in hybrid, while only 4% were interested in a pure electric car. But you know, as abysmal as these numbers may seem, they're actually higher, much higher, than what's actually going on in the market right now. So who knows? Maybe this is an indication that the future looks bright for the electrification of the automobile. Of course, you're familiar with BMW, and you have probably heard about Alpina, but just in case you're not familiar with the German tuning company, we've got a story coming right up after the break.
You know why I pulled you over, ma'am? I need you to recalibrate the Doppler shift on the return signal. Radar's on the frisk.
Do Sonata drivers know something you don't? The Sonata from Hyundai.
Alpina is a German specialty tuning company that takes BMWs and makes them a whole lot faster than they come from the factory. Here's the latest on the company's newest model, the B7.
I'm Andy Bovensiepen, the owner of Alpina. Alpina is a very small manufacturer which produces 1,200 cars annually, and my father founded the company nearly 50 years ago. And we work very close with BMW in a small niche, and we have newly developed the BMW Alpina B7, which we brought to the States. The BMW Alpina B7 is one of the fastest four-door cars you can buy. It's capable of doing 194 miles per hour. Therefore, it's very important that the suspension and the straight line stability is on a very high level. Alpina developed in the BMW wind tunnel a new front spoiler and a rear deck spoiler, which reduces lift dramatically. So the car has a very nice shape with a rear deck spoiler. So to recognize this 7 as a Alpina B7, it's quite visible in the rear, B7 and Alpina. And of course we have 4 visible exhaust pipes. You see here, nice ovals, which is very common to Alpina cars, and a small integrated rear diffuser. Yes, here we see the BMW Alpina 21-inch wheels. Every Alpina you recognize immediately because this design has been invented in the 70s and there had been a lot of evolutions out of it. Very interesting is that beneath this cover there's a valve and the air goes through the valve into the tire. This is unique with Alpina. So have a look at the front of the BMW Alpina B7. It's a huge front spoiler and we have a lot of air intakes within the front spoiler because the engine needs a lot of air here for braking, for transmission and of course for engine and intercooling. And look at this nice color. This is a new Alpina blue matte color. It's completely unique. You can only get it on an Alpina B7. Here we have a look at the engine. It's a 4.4 liter unit, which is a twin turbo engine, and it delivers 540 horsepower and a maximum torque of 538 pound-foot. This lets you accelerate in 4.3 seconds from 0 to 60. Here you see the Alpina instrument cluster. We have red needles and blue dials, which is very unique to every Alpina car. And additionally, you find the Alpina battery Lavalina leather with a parallel stitching, which is very, very soft if you feel it. And it's a blue and green stitching, which is the Alpina signature colors. And on the back of the steering wheel, there are integrated 2 shifting buttons. On the left side, you shift down. On the right side, you shift up. So you can have a very sporty driving feel when going, for example, a hilly road. So the BMW Alpina update 13 model is available from now on, and you can get it as a short wheelbase, a long wheelbase, a rear-wheel drive or all-wheel drive. And prices start from $127,000.
Say a programming note before we go here. There will not be an Autoline After Hours this Thursday night, but join us again next week when my special guest will be Sandy Monroe, who has all kinds of great information on the true cost of making electric cars. And that wraps up today's report. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.